Hello everybody, this is Josh Spicer from GameWisdom.com. Welcome to another quick video of Darkest Dungeon Basics. For this one, I am covering the Vestal. This is the third of the 4 star classes that you get in the game, and it's a very interesting one. This class, along with the Abomination, are one of the only few classes that can finally be built in 2 different ways, depending upon what skills you select. So let's go over this. The Vestal is another holy character similar to the Crusader and the Leper. She starts off with her Mace Bash, which is just pure melee. As you can see, it doesn't have the plus unholy buff that the Crusader's basic attack has. Next one is Judgment. This is a back row ability that allows her to do both damage and heal, allowing her to effectively do double duty in case she does get hurt. Dazzling Light is her stun. It has a lower stun chance compared to other ones available to other classes, but it does restore the torch as well. Now these 2 skills are the big ones. These are her healing abilities, and what makes her to be one of the most dedicated healers in the game. First is Divine Grace, which just flat out heals one member of your party. It's also the second strongest heal in the entire game, behind the word reconstruction from the Occultist. Divine Comfort is a party heal, and it's the only one in the entire game. She is the only class who can heal the entire party with 1 turn. While it's not as strong, it can be very useful if you're dealing with enemies who are doing a lot of little damage. Her next 2 skills are more damage based. We have Illumination, which also confers a debuff of -20 dodge, making it easier for enemies to get hurt. And then Hand of Light, which is actually one of the few enemy debuff skills in the game. As you can see, this one lowers enemies' damage and accuracy, and gives her a buff against Unholy. So that's where that 50% from the Crusader comes in. Now, this skill is very interesting because, as I said, very few characters get an ability to lower both damage and accuracy at the same time. The Occultist gets one that just lowers damage. I know the Arbalist gets one that lowers accuracy and I think crit chance, but I believe she's the only one who gets both damage and accuracy. As you can see, it also targets both the first and second positions. Now, looking at the skills, as you can see, there is a divide between how you can build your Vestal. You can either go for back row spellcaster with like these 4, or add Illumination in place, or go for a front range warrior with Mace Bash, Hand of Light, Illumination, and then you're pretty much required to take Divine Comfort because no other skill will work there. Now we look at our camping skills. Again, these 3 are locked to everyone. First is Bless, Rage's accuracy and dodge, pretty self-explanatory. Chant. Now remember what I just said, with religious classes, the Leper, the Crusader, and the Vestal. This is where that comes into play. You can see if they're religious, it's going to reduce their stress damage and reduce their total stress. If they're not, they'll still regain some benefit, but not as much. Same thing goes for Pray. You can see if the class is religious, reduces stress and adds protection. Obviously, protection is a great perk or bonus to have, and if you have an old holy party, it can pay dividends. Lastly, Sanctuary. If religious, it prevents nighttime ambush, which, since she is religious, it will work always, essentially. And then Companions get a mortality debuff. If they have one, they'll heal, and it'll reduce stress. Note, it doesn't cure mortality debuffs like the Crusaders. Let me pull that up quickly. Where is it? Here it is, Stand Tall. So as you can see, the Vestal is a very interesting class. It makes her very versatile too, as you can spec her again either as a back row healer support or a front row fighter and debuffer. This also allows you to mix her up in between rooms. Let's say you have a really bad fight and you need her back row healing, just swap the skills out in between and you're good to go. Or if you need to move her up to do more damage, swap them again. So the advantages of the Vestal, again, versatility and the fact that she is one of the few dedicated healers in the game. Having a party heal is very useful, and having a reliable medium range heal is great as well. The versatility is her other advantage, as we just talked about. Her main disadvantage is the fact that because she is such a dedicated healer, 9 times out of 10 you're going to pretty much keep her in the back row as a healer instead of making use of some of her other skills, because it is very risky on the higher levels to deny yourself a good healer. Also, as someone who's split between back and front, it makes her not as effective as pure back row or pure front row characters. Her attacks, as you can see, don't do as much comparative if we go up here and look at my leper, who he has 12 to 23 base, while she has 6 to 14 base. And again, that's sort of the trade-off you take with Jack of all trades characters. They're masters of none, which means they're versatile, but if you're looking for a specific role, she's not going to do it as well as other classes. As far as trinkets, again, it's going to be split depending on how you use her. If you want her to heal, take skills or take trinkets that raise healing skill abilities, which are very powerful actually. You can get the party buff to, I believe, 6 or 7 across the entire party with the best heal skill trinkets. That can be amazing and life-saving in the later dungeons. If you want to be more attacking, get trinkets that raise damage, which I don't have any offhand to show. They're spread across all my other classes at the moment, but you'll know when you see them. As with quirks, again, it is going to be a grab bag. If you want in the back row, look for ones that enhance range skills, or on the front row, look for those that enhance melee skills. For good party compositions, because she's versatile, she can fit into a lot of different parties. If you have the occultist in the 3rd row using his heals and such, the Vestal can stay in the 2nd row or 2nd position and still be able to use most of her skills and still be offensively minded while the occultist does most of the healing. If you want a back row, you can have heavy hitters in the front like the Crusader, the Leper, or the Bounty Hunter. Now, of course, you cannot take the Abomination. The Abomination is completely opposed to the Holy Classes, so they will not go with the Leper, Crusader, or Vestal, which does lend itself to some more tricky party compositions. Other than that, I believe that is the Vestal in a nutshell. Either spellcaster and good healer, or front row heavy basher with her mace, and of course having these skills for a debuff. And this Hand of Light debuff is actually really great in terms of being able to do both damage and accuracy. If we come over here for a quick second, you can see that the Weakening Curse does do more damage debuff, but it does not lower accuracy like this one does. And it also has a decent damage. She'll only do half damage, but that's far better than having a negative 90% damage mod. So again, there's that versatility for you, and I'm sure you can come up with a variety of parties where she will be useful in both positions. So that's going to do for this video. Thanks a lot for tuning in. If you enjoyed it, please like and subscribe, and be sure to check out the rest of the Darkest Dungeon basics as well as my campaign run also on the Game Wisdom YouTube channel. Thanks again, and see you all real soon with our next class. Take care.